Hello everybody, I hope you're doing good today. This video may contain copyrighted images being used underneath the Fair Use Act for educational purposes. You know, there's few people that comment my opening's annoying, but you know what? That's why I keep using it, because it pisses off Jaren and IPS. They hate my voice. It gets under their skin. Hello, Jaren. For somebody that doesn't come to my page, you sure do comment on it a lot. And I'm just going to keep on blocking your stupid ass. Just like you do to me when I comment on your page. So, let's get started here with Mark did another interview with some university journalists. And like I say, Mark gives the same shit over and over and over again. But let's listen to this now.
Oh, happy to do it.
Yeah. So I'll just start off with the big one. What are your beliefs?
Since you're recording this, I am a...
Did you hear him? Since you're recording this. He's implying that he's got two different beliefs. One for recorded and one for when no cameras or recording are going. That's just like Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's keep listening.
Flat earther. I believe that the globe in a court of law can't be proven anymore, and that we are living on a stationary fixed disk with a dome inside it. How many references can I give you? It's a firmament, it's a planetarium, a terrarium, a snow globe. You're living inside a Hollywood backlot.
There you go, living inside a backlot. Later on, he goes to say the sun and the moon and the stars are all from projection systems here on Earth. Well, let's just debunk this projection bullshit right away. Sorry about my phone. Let's just debunk this projection system right away. Now, on a cloudy day, if there was a projection system on Earth projecting the stars, the moons, and the suns, then we would see the light rays hitting the clouds. And since we don't see any light rays hitting the clouds and being diffused in the clouds, there is no projection system. So Mark's a liar, and he's been debunked. All right, let's get started here with Flat Earth Deceivers Part 3. I want to point out that Iru's been upgraded to a Globebusters regular. He'll be on every Sunday. He's also been upgraded to FECORE scientist and engineer. And that also includes Rob Skiba. Rob Skiba is now a FECORE member. Remember, not board members, not yet anyways. They're members. They're employees. They're on the salary. Our payroll. And they will get paid well. More than they've ever made in their life, probably. So, Iru wants to get into agriculture right away with FECORE research. There's money to be made. He says food is currency. You ever wonder why they ain't got a section on here to research, you know, like ranching, you know, pigs, chickens, cows, sheep, and all that, on how to improve that process so we don't have to inject everything with hormones and antibiotics and everything else in the world? How about human research so we don't have to freaking get vaccinated? No, we can't do any of that kind of research because it doesn't go along with the New World Order agenda. We need to do research that's going to make forced veganism sustainable. That's why they're doing agriculture research. They know there's money to be made in there if they can make it sustainable. One of their projects is to make production of vegetables and stuff 1,000 times more productive. What would be the reason for that? Yeah. You want us all to be rabbits. So, Iru's got this suggestion, and and listen to this closely, folks, when he mentions the word, this book.
I like to drop something on the table, if you allow me, because when you're talking about the agriculture things and projects, for me that is the first thing that we need to trying to understand the people, because the best currency out there is the food.
Yeah. The best currency out there is food. It's the best way to make money and get federal grants and all that other stuff. Let's listen some more.
Make our own food. And I remember when I trying to research about free energy and that kind of things, I become across with this guy, which is a guy here from the Latin America, and I think he's a Mexican guy, and he wrote a book, a really amazing book, that some journalists from French, they come to make a revelation of
A really impressive book. Let's listen to him again.
A book, a really amazing book,
A really amazing
that some
book.
journalists from French, they come to make a revelation.
All right, so after he gets done and he wants to push this stuff right here, this 3D garden printer bullshit, he says we need to get into this kind of technology. That's the future. Got to keep people in their house, make them lazy. Can't have them out there planting their own garden. Got to have a printer system doing that, watering it every day and telling you when it's ripe. I bet you that will end up being more work than it is doing it yourself the old way, the normal way. So anyways, Rick Hummer's got to act like he's a smart, intelligent person here, and he's got to ask Iru a question. Pay close attention to Iru's answer.
Yeah, can I ask something real quick, Bob, on that?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
The giant vegetables. Is he using any type of static electric or anything like that to stimulate the plants?
I didn't.
No, Bob, no, Rick. They do that. They only use that for erectile dysfunction.
Didn't read his book. I just
Did you hear that?
I didn't read his book. I just I didn't read his book.
He just told us this book was so amazing. Now let's listen to him some more. He didn't even read the amazing book. How could he know it's amazing?
I just I am I like to download information. That is what the most thing that I do. I am a researcher, but the book is available on Amazon and other libraries out there.
There you go. So why didn't you do some research, Iru, and go to Amazon and download this and read this? You see what a joke these guys are? They try to pass themselves off as super intelligent people. When it comes down to it, folks, don't let them fool you. They're no smarter than you and I. They're just more better at being deceitful and deceptive. That's all it's about. So, let's keep going here. Bob talks about diversifying the research. Pay close attention.
But one other thing that I wanted to say is by diversifying the areas that we look into, that we research, or that we are available to research, because like I said, we have quite an array of talent in this group, and we will continue to pick up talent, other engineers, physicists, scientists that have something to contribute. And when we have such a well-diversified area of research, this also will make funding and grants and donations more plentiful for the youth.
More funding and grants, federal grants. That's all this is about getting federal money. They will never get federal money if they use the word flat earth in their organization. It's all they're in it for, the money, folks. You can hear, he just said, we have to do this to get grants because they ain't gonna get no money, that much money from flat earth. They're feeding it. They're part of the beast system, like I just said. Like I said in the other videos. Let's keep going here. Oh, Jaron's always been looking for trustworthy, honest people like him to form a group with. Let's listen to this nonsense.
I just wanted to cover how I came to be involved, and as I've said before, I've always watched other people's videos.
Now, listen to this, because how he came involved is not what Rick said. Because Rick said he went to Jaron a long time ago and said, hey, we just all need to get together and just form this group and do this. So Jaron's lying.
Videos, and I mentally kind of place certain people into certain categories. And I'm always looking for trustable, people that are into research and honestly reporting what they see. And as time gone on, I've kind of been approached by different people or different groups, and for one reason or another, either a particular person or the group in whole, I've chosen not to be involved. But when I was approached by the core group, first question, of course, was who else is in it? And when I heard Mike Kavanaugh and Dr. Zach and Steve Torrance and Chris, I'd heard Chris many times on Sun and Moon Group. I heard Rick Hummer, and like Rick said, I've talked to him well over a year ago. We spoke a couple times. Karen B. I mean, the group looked perfect. That's what I've been waiting for, because despite what people will think is, we want the truth. And if anyone can't see why there's strength in numbers, then I can't.
If you want the truth, why are you lying and not calling yourself a flat earth research group, Jaron? You guys have no integrity. You've been lying my whole through this whole video that you guys posted on the internet. I covered all the lies in part 1, part 2, and I got plenty more to go. You're full of shit. Looking for honest, trustworthy people to be a part of a group with. You were looking for money. Ain't nobody else come to you, because if they did and they had money, you would have freaking joined right then and there. That's what this is all about. You guys ain't fooling nobody. That's why they ain't mentioning flat earth, because they know they ain't going to get no money. I'll guarantee you less than 5% of their research will have to do with flat earth, and none of it will have to do with changing the globe system that we're currently preached every day to. None of it. They can't use it because they have to keep that research in the name of the person who did it secret so they don't lose their job. So their business plan is a piece of shit. It's faulty from start to finish. Their business plan is a failure. So, let's keep going here. Do I have any more on that one? Oh yeah, there's a lot more. Let's listen.
I understand that, because there clearly is strength in numbers. And like Mike said, I knew I was never going to get this all solved by myself. So it wasn't even a goal. My goal was to keep speaking truth, and eventually, it would be heard. And that's obviously what's going on. I'm not saying I'm responsible for the group, but Mike contacted me and said, hey, we'd love to have you aboard. We like your research. And that's kind of what.
So Mike just recently contacted Jaron and said, we'd like to have you aboard. But that's a lie, because if you go back to my video yesterday, Rick Hummer says he went to Jaron, and Jaron told him about Mike Kavanaugh was planning the same thing. And that's how this all came about. They're just lying all the way through this video from start to finish. None of them did research into their own bylaws. In fact, a foreigner had to tell them how the 501c3 works. And you will find that out later on in this video. So, let's listen some more, about another 40 seconds here.
I've been waiting for. So it was something I jumped on real quick. And we've had these weekly calls and getting to know each other and talking about experiments. And that's what I've wanted. So it's saddening to hear the people who make comments about something that's really been done the right way, grown the right way, been built the right way with the right people. And, it just goes to show you some people can't research.
Yeah.
You got a lot of freaking nerve, Mr. Theoreticist, however you pronounce it. You do nothing but push theories and create graphs to prove your asinine theories. You're not a researcher. You're a deceiver.
Absolutely. You know, the level of integrity within this group is, you know, in my opinion, is the best we have. You know,
Yeah,
guys like
right.
Skiba and Jaron and Bob and Steve and Zach. You know, those are stand-up guys that I trust 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so anyway, that's the reason, you know, that a lot of us are involved. And like I said, many people are going to remain nameless because, you know, somebody asked me this question at the conference. You know, where are all the scientific people? Where are all the people with the degrees and you know, with high, you know, training and et cetera? And, you know, how come they're not coming forward? And my response to him was, what makes you think those people aren't there? In fact, they are.
Because you can't give us their names. That's why, Bob. And you can't use their research to do anything else other than to file patents and make products. Because you have to keep them secret. So their research can never be made public to change the system we're living under. And the problems that are created under this system. How many times I got to point that out, Bob? You guys are just on here lying your ass off, trying to get federal funding, make $100,000 and $150,000 a year, however much you want to pay yourselves. Coming on here lying, telling you can't get paid. Now it's a straight up freaking lie. Mike Kavanaugh, going to my page, telling my subs, Jaron or nobody else can get paid. It's in the bylaws. You find out that's a freaking lie. All right, let's go. Well, Mike's talking here, I think, about appointing scientists and engineers. I don't know. Let's see.
Now there's people demanding to see my degrees, you know.
Oh, yeah. This is Mike. Listen to this freaking clown.
Now there's people demanding to see my degrees, you know. I sure as hell not going to show. Demanding to see my degrees, you know. I sure as hell not going to show. Demanding to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
now there's people demanding to see my degrees, you know. I sure as hell not going to show.
Yeah, that's integrity. That's accountability, isn't it? That's accountability that you told us they're going to have. You guys are freaking clowns. I bet you don't even have a degree. An engineer degree or a scientist degree. Show us your PhD. I want your guys' credentials. You've put yourself on a pedestal calling yourselves scientists and engineers. You're required to show your freaking credentials. I ain't showing you shit. Oh, yeah, that's really good, honest integrity, clowns. Okay. They start taking questions from more reputable people. Remember, all the questions they were answering were raised by me, MGTV, and others. So now they start answering the reputable questions, you know, the good, honest questions. Let's listen.
Okay, well, the first question is, can people comment on our experiments in the website? I'll let you go ahead and address that.
No. Only members can comment on experiments and projects, and the reason for that is we want to keep the trolls out. Simple as
that, folks. So they lied again. They said, no, you guys will be able to see our research and our products and comment on it. That's a lie. Lies, 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 lies. Over and over and over again.
that. You know, the memberships start at $25 a year. You know, that's nothing. That's $2 a month. If that's too much, then, you know, I'm sorry.
That's right.
That's right.
We
ain't it great telling other people telling you what you should be able to afford? These guys don't put their money in nothing. They don't put their money in nothing. But they want yours. All right. One last clip for part 3. And here it is. Like I said, Bob's a dumbass. He didn't do any research. He didn't do any preparing for this strike back at us. And their strike back failed. They threw Bob under the bus here. He gets thrown under the bus many times in this, and you'll see that in part 4. Let's play this clip.
Let's move on to the next question. I think we already kind of covered this. Was, are you paying salaries out of donations to experiments or membership? The answer to that is no.
No.
We cannot, by law, pay salaries. The best we can do is cover any expenses incurred for any of the experiments. Other than that, salaries simply are not allowed. And
so, there you go. Bob figured he'd come on here and wing it and lie his ass off to us. Let's watch the president and the chairman of FECORE throw him under the freaking bus.
And you know what? I'm fine with that. I don't care. That's all good for me.
Well, there's a little side note to that, because Section 10 actually allows every board member to receive a compensation for work that he's doing outside of being a director.
Right.
So if we
Right. Like, you didn't know this, Bob. You just lied to us and said this isn't possible. This ain't happening.
For example, me, if I sacrifice 2 weeks of my billable hours as a business owner, well, I make somewhere between 75 and 135 euros an hour. So if I'm going to sacrifice my free time to do experiments for FECORE outside of being a director, I got to feed my family. I just had my 3rd kid, and I have a house. All those things need to be paid for. And if I sacrifice my billable hours as a business owner, I got to eat. So
well, why don't you go out and get a job instead of creating a .org and asking for taxpayer funds to support you? You might as well go sign up for welfare. You guys are going to be getting federal grants, and you ain't going to be telling nobody about that. Bob already mentioned it. That's why they expanded their research, so they can get grants. And then Mike comes to my page, lies to me and my subs, and says nobody's getting paid. Well, you could tell that's another lie just on top of all the other lies they're having. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, and I should have part 4 out tomorrow. Have a good day.